And joining us from a bit further north, from Santa Rosa, California, is meteorologist and ABC Discovery News correspondent Steve Newman. Steve, I gather California's had a break now for a little over a day, but another storm coming on the coast today?
It's a very weak one. It's not going to be any big deal. Most of the energy is going up into Washington and Oregon. I think those pictures we saw from Southern California, those surf conditions should subside the next 24, 48 hours. But there's a fairly big storm predicted to move into Southern California this weekend. It could bring those wave heights up again one more time. But today's rains isn't really going to cause any problem.
Steve, I've seen some meteorologists in California quoted as saying these are not El Nino storms, but they are, aren't they?
They certainly are, and I absolutely have proof positive for you. I can show you on the satellite sequence from the last week. And last Tuesday, there were a series of tropical cyclones down south of the equator. There were West, Veli, and Ursula. Now, this is the equator, and generally weather patterns stay in their own hemisphere. The stuff stays to the south and to the north. But I want you to look. This is the El Nino source region. This is where the water is unusually warm. And this cluster of thunderstorms and clouds and moisture actually went north of the equator, right up and linked up to what we call the Pineapple Express. This is a very common pattern here during an El Nino year, to have moisture come from the southern hemisphere up over the equator and join into it. Could only possibly happen during a severe El Nino outbreak, as we're having this year, and that moisture did enhance the rains we had last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This morning, this is the very weak front we have offshore. It really doesn't pose the threat of bringing any significant rains to us, and the rain on radar at this hour, this is the live radar image. It's not even raining yet, and when it does get here, it should be fairly light.
But Steve, how long does that pattern that you just outlined last?
It could persist for another 2, 3, 4 weeks. We predicted that the El Nino would start bringing heavy rains into Southern California back in November and December, and sure enough it did. They weren't really bad storms, but enough to bring surf conditions around Christmas time. And then it was predicted to shift northward into Northern California about this time of year. Now, how long it actually persists remains to be seen, but it could last into March.
All right. Steve Newman, appreciate it very much. Good to talk to you. We take a break. Good Morning America continues. We'll be right back.